Hello, I'm George from Panouseris Yacht Charters, and today we're going to show you our Jeanneau 449 Amelie. This yacht has a layout of 4 cabins and 2 heads. Before we proceed with the technical presentation of the yacht, let's have a quick look at the living spaces of the yacht.
Pack your bags, I got a one-way ticket to explore the world tonight. I want you back, so come with me. Don't look back, I wanna show you the wonders of the universe, girl. Take my hand and you will see. We've got just one life, baby, so live it up, take it one day at a time. Keep it shining like the stars we see above. I wanted to be here by my side, my tropical love. I wanna leave it all behind. Sailors, it's just you and I. Exploring hidden caves or surfing waves into the night on the beaches of Hawaii. Drinks in Ibiza, anywhere you wanna go, baby, you just let me know. Sunny Indonesia, don't say no. Sipping on tequila, anything you wanna see, be there in a heartbeat. Just say the words and we can go. We've got just one life, baby, so live it up, take it one day at a time. Keep it shining like the stars we see above. I wanted to be here by my side, my tropical love.
Let's start with the cabins. On the stern right cabin, we have the main switches of the yacht. Here we have the master switches of the yacht. This black one is the master switch. This red one is for the engine, and this is for the service batteries. Under normal circumstances, all these switches must remain on at all times. This yellow fuse is the thermal fuse of the anchor winch. If you apply too much pressure on the anchor winch, this fuse may trip. All the life jackets are stored under the bed on the bow left cabin. Under the bed of the bow cabin, you will find the bow thruster along with its battery, its fuse and its master switch. About the toilets. To flush out, you need to have the switch to the right and use the pump. To flush out using seawater, you need to turn the switch to the left and pump again. In order to avoid any kind of blockage, you should not throw any papers inside the bowl. Also, the button for the shower pump is located here. If you press it once, it will work for 20 seconds. This yacht is equipped with 2 waste tanks. On the bow toilet, the waste tank valve is located under the sink, while at the stern toilet, it is located under the seat of the shower. In this position, the valve is open. In this position, the valve is closed. Now you are using the waste tank. In order to empty the waste tank, you need to bring the switch in the previous position. Inside this locker, we have the first aid kit, the PIRB, the floating light, the cockpit light, as well as the 2 winch handles. Under this side of the couch, we have the one fire extinguisher, the spare controller for the anchor winch, manuals for the boat, as well as the bosun's chair. While on the other side, we have the battery of the VHF and the box with the flares. Under this side of the couch, as well as the cupboards behind me, are available for storage. Under the couch here, we have the toolbox, the black ball signals, the safety lines, as well as the short legs for the table. Here we have the boiler, and behind here we have the freshwater pump and the water tank selectors. Here we have the freshwater system. The freshwater pump is here and the water tank selectors are here. This yacht has two water tanks, one in the bow and one in the stern. Now we are using the stern tank. To switch between the two water tanks, first of all, we need to close the switch of the freshwater pump from the panel, which I will show you later in the video, and then you need to close the switch and open the top one. Then you will need to open the switch again from the panel and open one tap somewhere inside the yacht to take the air out of the system. Here we have the chart table along with all the necessary navigational equipment. Here we have the VHF, the radio, the inside plotter and the switchboard. Under the VHF is located the charger of the VHF battery. If you go low on service batteries, you may hear an alarm coming from this device. To stop the alarm, you need to press this black button here, and then you will need to charge the batteries. About the VHF. To change channels, you use this one right here. To change the volume here, to switch it on and off here, and the stress button is right here. Here we have the internal plotter. To operate the plotter, you use only these buttons. The inside plotter and the outside plotter are not connected. They work separately. On the left side of the panel, we have the 230 volts. When you are connected to shore power, you will need to see red light here and the voltage meter here. Battery charger switch, AC outlet switch, and hot water switch. If you want to use the boiler, you need to open this switch and wait half an hour. Before you make your shower, you need to close this switch. From this side and on, it's 12 volt. Here we have the cabin light switch, fridge unit, spare line, freshwater pump. When the pump is working, you will need to see green light here. After you have stopped using the fresh water, this green line needs to stop. If it doesn't, this means you have run out of water. In this case, you need to stop the freshwater pump, change the freshwater tanks, and then open again the switch. This is the switch for the bilge pump. Manual and automatic. Navigational instruments is here, deck light, anchoring light, sailing lights, and engine lights. To see the voltage of your batteries, you press this button, once for domestic, twice for engine. Water tank levels, tank number 1 and tank number 2. For diesel, you press this button. The fridge of the yacht is here. You can adjust the power of the fridge from the switch there. To close the lid, you need to keep the top side, remove the safety pin, and let it close gently. About the cooker, it has 2 stoves and oven. To operate the stoves, you need to press inside, turn the switch, and use a lighter. You need to keep it for a few seconds to warm up, and then you release it. This valve is for the left stove, and this one is for the right. To lock and unlock the door of the oven, you use this one. Tilt is under here. To operate the oven, you do it exactly the same as the stoves. Gas valve is located inside this locker, mounted on the wall. About the engine, this yacht is equipped with a 57 horsepower Yanmar engine with sail drive. You can check the cooling water of the engine through the box at the back and the engine oil from the dipstick on the right. Both the cooling water and the engine oil you can check it when the engine is completely cold. The dipstick is accessible from the stern right cabin. If you need to fill more oil to the engine, you do it from here. The consumption of this engine is about 5 liters per hour at 2200 RPM. Let's continue with the outside of the yacht. Let's start with the lockers. On the left locker we have one canister of 20 liters of spare diesel, 5 liters of unleaded fuel for the outboard, one fire extinguisher, all the spare ropes of the yacht plus a 50-meter floating line for anchoring, and spare engine oil. On the other side, we have the water hose, the emergency tiller, oars for the dinghy and pump for the dinghy, the boat hook, and a bag with flippers and masks. When sailing, the back rails should be attached like this, and the gangway should be in upward position and secured over the breaker with 2 safety knots. To deploy the gangway, first of all you need to untight these 2 knots and then push the rope down to disengage from the breaker. Then give a gentle push to the gangway. After you have set the gangway 20 centimeters off the dock, put the rope inside the breaker and always make at least 2 safety knots over the breaker for security. Now let me show you the swimming platform. Before you open the swimming platform, first of all the yacht must be stopped. After you have deployed it, no more than 2 people should be standing on it. Of course, jumping is not allowed for safety reasons. Now, to take it down, first of all you need to remove the safety pin from here and take control of the rope inside this locker. Then give a gentle push to the platform while at the same time controlling the rope. To close the platform, pull this rope up and then control the platform. Then don't forget to apply the safety pin. On the left helm we have the 1-3 data instrument. Here you have wind speed and wind direction, speed of the yacht and depth. The depth is calculated from the physical location of the sensor under the hull. You can circle between the pages from these 2 buttons. Here we have the plotter. It has a full screen touch display. When you no longer need the plotter, switch off the plotter by pressing this button repeatedly, then apply the sun cover to protect it, and afterwards release the brake and turn it around like this. On the right helm station we have the autopilot controller. When it's standby, you see the indication here, and you can also see the position of your rudder on the top of the screen. To engage the autopilot, after you have set your course, you press the auto button. To go right, you use this knob like this, and to go left, like this. To stand by, press this button and the helm is free again. About the engine. Before you start the engine, make sure that you have disconnected the shore power cable. To start, you press this button once and you wait a few seconds. Then you press the top button. After the engine has started, make sure that water is coming from the left side of the hull. To go neutral in order to charge your batteries, you need to press this red button inside and open the throttle. When you bring the lever to the middle, the pin will go out automatically. To go forward, first plug the gear and then open the throttle. To go reverse, first wait a few seconds and then bring the lever back and then open the throttle. About the bow thruster. In order for the bow thruster to work, you will need to have the engine running. To switch it on, you need to press this button twice. To go right, you press this button. to go left. To switch off the bow thruster, just press this button once. The proper way to use the bow thruster is 10 seconds at a time, a small pause, and then use it again. To stop the engine, you will need to press the stop button till the engine stops, and then the switch off button till all the lights go on and off. The filling point for the stern water tank is located right there. For the front water tank, it's in the bow. Under the seat right here, you can find 2 gas bottles, one spare and one unused. Cockpit shower is located here, and the emergency tiller can be installed here. The diesel filling point is right there, and you can connect the shore power cable here. About the anchor winch. In order for the anchor winch to work, you will need to have the engine running. The controller of the anchor winch is inside here. To go down, for the first few meters, you need to go slow. When taking the chain up, the yacht must go towards the chain and not the opposite. When you are lifting it up, the chain needs to be vertical on the surface of the water. For the last few meters that you are taking the chain up, you will need to go slow. When underway, the dinghy must be secured on the deck. Before you open the Jeanneau, make sure that all the top hatches remain closed in order to avoid any kind of damage caused to them by the Jeanneau seats, and also to prevent water from coming inside the yacht. To open the Jeanneau, pull the one of the 2 Jeanneau seats depending the wind direction, while at the same time slowly releasing the roller of the Jeanneau in order to open the sail slowly. To close the Jeanneau, start releasing the Jeanneau seat that you are using, while at the same time pulling the roller in. This yacht has a full button mainsail with 3 reefs. To open the cover, you will need to open from here and from the top. To lift the sail, you will need to steer the yacht facing the wind direction. Now let me show you how to operate the outboard. Before you start the engine, make sure that these screws are tightened. To start the outboard, you need first to open the fuel from here. Open the choke when it's cold. We open the air vent, and then we bring the gas to start position. Then we pull the cord out till we find resistance. Then we should pull it harder. When you start, close the choke. The propeller works automatically, so when I open the throttle, the propeller will start. Now, to switch off the outboard, you need to press this button till the motor stops. Then you will need to close the air vent tight so no water is coming in, and then close the fuel. This outboard is air cooled, so you won't see any water coming out of it. But in order for the outboard to operate properly, it needs to be inside the water, not outside in the deck. From all the Panouseris Yacht Charters team, thank you for watching our video. If you have any questions, we are more than happy to answer them. Let us know how you feel about our video in our social pages. We're looking forward into welcoming you on board.